Weight cutting, a very controversial topic in the mixed martial arts world and combat sports world, and something I want to touch upon because, in my opinion, I believe it's one of the most dangerous aspects of combat sports. And to be honest, I feel like that's almost hypocritical because when we're talking about combat sports, we're talking about a barbaric sport. We're talking about two gentlemen, two women going in there to ultimately try to kill each other with all their might, with a few sets of rules and a referee to stop them from doing so when they get a little too close to doing so. So anyway, if you're new here, I'm the MMA Casual. I talk about everything mixed martial arts and UFC. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and sit tight. We're talking weight cutting. So a day to a day and a half, so 24 hours to 36 hours before any mixed martial artist walks into the octagon or ring, they're going to hop on a scale. They're going to have to be at a set weight to fight at the division. Why? Well, in reality, it's just to keep things fair. It wouldn't be fair if Francis Ngannou fought Demetrius Johnson, even though Demetrius Johnson is one of the best of all time, right? Because we associate weight with about similar body composition, structure, size to a certain extent, of course, right? Some guys have more muscle mass. Some guys have worse fat percentage, whatever it may be, right? Everybody's different in their own way, but for the most part, if we keep everybody at the same weight, there should be similarities and it keeps it the most fair. Again, everybody has the same anatomy, but not everybody has the same body structure or body composition. So we continue. My issue with weight cutting is that we have guys doing extreme weight cuts, right? We got guys fighting at the 170-pound division, welterweight, but who walk around at 210 pounds. That means from their normal body weight, their normal set weight, someone who works out is an athlete, let's say they're 6'2", 6'1", muscular, they're going to be able to cut 40 pounds and fight somebody at 170 pounds, right? So quite the advantage if I'm able to fight at a weight class lower than I'm supposed to be fighting at. I have an advantage because chances are I'm bigger than the guys in that division. I'm taller than the guys in that division. So if you are better at weight cutting, if you're not better, but if you're able to tolerate a more aggressive weight cut, you are at an advantage. Now, extreme weight cutting comes with its disadvantages as well. It messes with your chin. You might not be able to come back and fill in all the volume the same way. You might be exhausted. You didn't replenish the right way. It might, like I said, cause you your chin. But more importantly, physiologically, weight cutting is not good. What are we doing physiologically? Because some people don't understand how people are able to drain and gain so much weight in such a short amount of time. And the reality is most people who don't know, it's all fluid. It's all water. This is what we call water weight. You are draining your body of all its fluid and dehydrating yourself, which is a lot of weight because you have your glycogen stores. You have fluid just all around your body that's being sweat out, pissed out, everything. And you're going to have electrolyte imbalances. You're going to dehydrate, which means that your kidneys are going to feel some strain. You could cause acute kidney injury, and long periods of dehydration or frequent dehydration could cause your kidneys to stop functioning, right? So I think as a fan of this sport, as someone who makes content on this sport, I want to see our fighters be as healthy as possible and, of course, have the best longevity they can, be as healthy as they can as individuals while obviously being a hypocrite and going in and smashing heads in. But there's no need for this aspect of the sport if you ask me. Do I think divisions are necessary? Absolutely. Divisions are necessary to keep fighting as fair as possible. But what the UFC and other organizations could do is have more weight classes, right? What this does is that you don't have these huge jumps in weight to make a class, right? Because there's a big difference from cutting to 170 to cutting to 155. But if someone could stop and be at 165 pounds or 160 pounds, man, maybe I don't do the extreme weight cut and maybe I'm able to not have to cut as much weight and put my body at jeopardy to reach a weight class where I feel I have a significant advantage in. Maybe I feel comfortable at 160 and it's a good balance of my power and speed and athleticism, where at 170, the guys are just too big. Another thing I think is necessary is if we make fighters weigh in the day of. That'd be nuts. Not a lot of people are going to like that, but you eliminate the weight cut. Imagine if you had to fight at your true weight. The weight classes would be blown out of proportion. Imagine if a guy who walks around at 205 pounds has to fight at 205 pounds. That's nuts. Nobody's going to risk fighting right after a weight cut or on the same day they're doing a weight cut. It does not happen. It's non-existent. So I think that really has everybody in their true weight class, which is something we'll never see, because you'd have to basically, all the welterweights right now would be light heavyweights. All the middleweights right now probably would be heavyweights, and then I guess we'd have to have a super heavyweight, etc. And just it gets a lot. It gets a lot harder to do, and you'd eliminate classes like the flyweight division, because no man is walking around at 125 pounds for the most part. They'd move up to bantamweight, but I think it keeps our fighters healthier, and it eliminates such a stupid part of the game that it is weight cutting. And the reason I think it's stupid, besides the points I just made, is also the fact because the UFC and MMA and USADA, or was USADA, is against you. You're going to dehydrate your body, and they're not even going to let you use IV infusions afterwards, right? And because they think you might get, some doses of drugs or steroids, whatever the hell it may be. But in reality, why not fuel these guys with fluids, normal saline, get some salt in there for water retention, and electrolytes. You want them to be replenished and be full. And the UFC could easily regulate this by them having staff be the ones infusing a liter of normal saline just to get these guys back on track, rather than having these guys replenish on their own, which is also unhealthy, right? Because you could completely have your body out of whack if you're replenishing your electrolytes or rehydrating too quickly. There's just so much to this that is at risk for the fighter, and in the long run, it just fucks with their longevity. And I know I just went on some random rant and I'm all over my topics and points, but I just wanted to get on here and get your opinion and see what you have to say. I'm the MMA Casual. Be sure to follow.